Hey YouTube, Kiratwig here, bringing you guys a look at my Yu-Gi-Oh! Extra deck collection. A little while back I showed you guys my complete deck collection, but I didn't really get around to showing you guys the individual cards in the extra deck, so I thought I'd just show you guys all the extra deck cards I have in total. I usually like to keep all the cards I have for an extra deck in these white boxes because I use white sleeves for all of my extra deck cards just to keep things organized. So we have the fusions, synchros, and exceeds. I thought let's just go through each one, show you guys the cards I hold on to. Ones, I get rid of with the decks. So let's go ahead and start off with the fusions, because fusions were the first extra deck cards that became available to us. Pretty much holding on to all the elemental hero cards. Masked heroes are coming out, so definitely got to get ready for those. Have one of each, at least, of all the elementals, the zeros, Escuridãos, etc. Also got some of the masked heroes and vision heroes. That deck is going to be pretty sweet once we get it in January. Also holding on to the Gem Knights. I usually keep the specific archetype cards with the deck when I'm using them, but since Gem Knights are put aside for the moment just because focusing on other decks, keep all the Gem Knight cards in the extra deck box. I have multiple extra deck boxes just because these all wouldn't fit in one Ultra Pro deck box, but like I said, I like to at least keep one of each extra deck card if possible for any sub-clan or sub-archetypes that I am still holding onto. Also got the Shaddolls. I still run Shaddolls, so got to at least have one of each of the fire and the earth, the 2 windows, and the 3 constructs. I also hold on to instant fusion targets like Fusionist, Carbonalas, Flower Wolves. Still a big fan of the Ojamas, so I like to also hold on to 2 knights and a king if possible. Still have the Fluffle deck, so I have some of those, hoping to get some more of the other fusions in the future. And then these are pretty much just the Miracle Synchro Fusion cards, and a couple other fusion targets that I just like to hold on to, like Chimera Tech, Worm Zero. You never know, down the road they might come in handy. Let's move on to Synchros now. Unlike the fusion types, the Synchros and the Exceeds were very difficult to organize because I could keep them together with their specific decks that they work with, but I found that just organizing them by level was easier, so we'll go ahead and grab a stack first. These are the levels 2 through 6. For level 2, I only have Pyrotile right now. I don't know where the heck I put my Formula Synchrons. I'm really embarrassed by that, but I'll come around to finding them and put them back into the collection. Only one level 3 as well. Those are the kind of the low level ones at the moment. Hoping to figure out where I put my Turbo Cannon. You never want to let go of your Turbo Cannon. Also holding on to 3 Herald of the Arclight. Necros is going to be pretty big. Got to run that in the deck. Other level 4s include the 1 Phonon Pulse Dragon tuner. I also still play Fableds, so I hold on to Godabis and Unicors. And then the generic level 4s, which are probably the best ones, Balmung and Armory Arm. For level 5s, you have your standards, the Armades, the Librarians, all the stuff that people always use in decks. Got some Laval cards as well. Hoping Lavals will come back one day, who knows, with Rekindling. Some Fabled support, Naturia Beasts, Junk Warriors, all this stuff's good to hold on to. Just a wide variety mash of a bunch of different cards as well. Still run Raccoons, viable in that, always mixing around with the Psychic deck, so you never know. For level 6, we have the Naturia Barkions, still have the Naturia deck, some more Laval stuff. Like I said, keeping the stuff together would have been probably a little more organized, but I find level just to be a lot more organized than keeping it together with specific groups when I don't have the cards with their respective decks. Vulcan, Goyo, all the generic good stuff. I also like to hold on to some band stuff like Bryonic. You never know, always nice to just hold on to one. DeLorean, Iron Chain, and Queen of Thorns. Next, moving on to level 7s, we keep, like I said, pretty standard stuff at the top, easy to get to. Not too much going on in the level 7s, just a variety of stuff. I don't have Black Wings, but sometimes you just don't want to trade, specific stuff. You just want to hold on to it. We have the Triforce, a lot of the old level 7 Synchros. Like I said, there are times when you're building a deck and you're like, oh, that card will be cool. And it's really just a better investment, in my opinion, to hold on to the card instead of getting rid of it. And I think I'm actually mixed up some of the level 7s, but we can fix those around. Getting on to the level 8s, we have some of the Signer Dragons. Ones that I definitely use a lot, like Scrap Dragon, Crimson Bladers, Beals. Always fun to mix in a Beals here or there. Boxia. A lot of this stuff does come in handy because I do still have the Yang Zing deck. So you want to always mix around, try different synchro options and whatnot. Getting into some of the lower clan here, we have the level 9s, the Mistworm. Like I said with Bryonic, always want to hold on to at least one Trishula because you never know. That thing's pretty cheap now, but it could spike up. The level 10s, Shooting Stars, always nice to have. Leo is pretty standard in a lot of decks now. Star Eater the same, and I just like to hold on to one Quasar and one Red Nova as well. And then finally we get to the biggest pile I have, which is the Exceed monsters. Just like Synchros, I found Exceed monsters were easiest to organize, keeping them by rank, just going from lowest to highest. Let me grab a part of the pile here. We got the rank 1 through 3. For rank 1s, we have the Dollahans and the Slacker Magicians. Always fun to use with the level 1 beatdown decks, the Frog decks. Same with Galaxy Queen and Lionheart. Those are the pretty standard rank 1s. I'm going to keep saying level, but it is rank that I like to hold on to. For rank 2s, we have Gachis. I use Gachi in a lot of decks, including Gishkis, Frogs. So having multiple copies of this always helps me. Since they're always all over the place, I never know where one will be, but as long as I always have one in the extra deck collection, I'll be able to get to it fast. Playset of number 64 for the Baby Raccoon deck. Digusto Phoenix, pretty standard. Same with 2 Herald of Pure Light. For rank 3s, we have the pretty standard staple ones. Ghost Trick Alucard. I like to hold on to 2 Zen mains, swapping that out and out of decks. Same with Levier. Invoker, surprised that card hasn't been reprinted yet. Soul of the Silver Mountain, and Malaya. I do have a fondness for Earth rank 3s just because a lot of my decks focus on Earth as being their main thing. For rank 4s, the standards, just like before, Gaga Cowboy, Lava Ball Chain, Emerald, Arc. These guys are almost always in decks. Same with Castel. Playset of Maestro. I have a pretty fondness for Maestro, so I always like to have 3. Utopias, you never know. Downer Magician, this card usually sticks with the Frog deck. Black Ship, got the Evil Swarm cards here. The Evil Swarm cards are in the extra deck collection because the deck's kind of been put on hold at the moment. Vylon de Sigma doesn't see too much play. Some other generic rank 4s going down the list, and Meister was one of the first ones we have. Only one Logia now, got rid of the Evols a while back. We've got the Queens here from the Madolches, Pearl, some standard stuff. Chidori's going to be good with the Spirit Tamers, so definitely he'll be coming out and being put in there. Going on to the rank 5s, I have Adrius. No clue where I put my Taras, but I'll be sure to find it and put it back in the collection. Rank 6s usually stick with my Gishki Heretics. Rank 7s are always out of the deck, just because I always mix them around with some of my bigger decks. Rank 8s, same deal. And then the Gimmick Puppet cards usually stay with the Gimmick Puppet deck because there's no other place for them. And then the rank 10s usually stick with the Gishkis. But yeah, that is a look at my extra deck collection. I hope you guys enjoyed. Also, comment down below how you guys organize your extra decks, if you guys just prefer to keep the cards with their respective decks, or if you like to keep them as a whole, because you're always constantly switching them out of your various decks. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and Kiratwig out.